welcome back to another episode of the Lumberjack Garage video blog. I think I should create a new name for that, a trendy name called a vlog. That's my idea. Don't steal it. Okay. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel,
please
click subscribe, like, comment, share. Boom. So this is a AC Cobra. It's a replica. So if you ever own one of these cars, I haven't decided if I would want to own one or not. I like it. It gets so much attention. Everyone wants to see it. They want to ride in it. But number one question everyone asks, is it real? Is that a real car? Is that a real Cobra? I'm like, oh, it's so annoying. So if you ever own one of these cars, you already have to have your answer figured out. So here is my official answer. A, yes, it's a real car, because you can clearly see it's a real car. But that's not the question they really want to know. They want to know, is it a real Cobra? Is it a real Shelby AC Cobra from the 1960s? And the difficult answer is, no, it's not, because that is worth millions of dollars and it is unlikely to be in our small town gas station. All right, maybe someone has one, I don't know. And but this car is the car that took the world by storm.
There's a lot of designing, testing, and trial runs behind every new innovation or new performance record. How do I know? My name's Carroll Shelby, and performance is my business.
This car took the world by storm. Carroll Shelby created a epic, legendary car. So, getting to the answer, is this real? It is a Superformance Cobra. The long story short, Carroll Shelby, if you watch Ford versus Ferrari, towards the end of that movie, we're talking late 60s, he obviously was getting in a lot of conflict with Ford ownership and management. And he ended up hitting the road. And even the Shelby Mustang, the Shelby Mustang, jeez Louise, the Shelby Mustang, what was the last year for that? I think like 69 or 70, something like that. Who just showed up? The man, the myth, the legend. Mm-hmm. You ready to work?
Yep.
Do you know how hot it is in Minnesota today?
Today's not too bad. I'd say it's maybe 86.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of outside work. All right, Will. You're my new cameraman. So, we're talking about this car. Look at this car, man. Ooh. What do you think about this?
I think it's hot.
So, here's my history. You're so artistic. What a cameraman. People are literally going to watch this and it'll make them feel sick. Okay, so I'm just telling the story. 65 was the first Shelby Mustang. Then by 68, Ford took the Shelby Mustang out of the Las Vegas Shelby America factory, which Will and I toured. Did you like that trip,
Yes,
Will?
it was awesome.
It was pretty cool, right?
I thought it was.
It was right after the Ford versus Ferrari film had come out. And so they had some of the cars there, and it was a cool movie. Anyways, so 68, Ford takes the Mustang, the Shelby Mustang, builds it in their own factory. And then by 69, Ford came out with their own competition to the Shelby Mustang, which was the Boss 302. And then the Boss 429, which was really a homologation car for their NASCAR motor. There was a lot of stuff happening in the late 60s, 1970. And it just was these conflicts with the Shelby Mustang. So you had the GT350, the GT500, which was the big block version. Ford came out with their big block Mustang, the 1968 Mustang GT-R code, which we have one at the shop that we do some work on. So that was Ford's Mustang, direct competition to the GT500 in 68. Then by 69, Like I already said, Ford had the Boss 429. They had the Boss 302. They also had a big block Mustang. Then they went to a 429 Cobra Jet Mustang. Maybe by 69. I should know all these numbers. I'm showing my ignorance. Will, I need to brush up on Mustang history. Do you know any Mustang history, Will?
All I know is that it was introduced in 64 and a half.
Ooh, Will's sharp with the Mustangs. So what I'm trying to paint a picture is Ford created their own internal competition against the Shelby Mustang. Then in all the Le Mans racing, Ford head guys start conflicting with Carroll Shelby himself in the racing program, and finally Shelby throws in the towel and he's like, I'm sick of this and I'm out of here. And he moved to South Africa, and he worked with this company called Superformance right here. That's how this car came into existence. So today they're still in business. These are not kit cars, these are replica cars, which means they are fully built in a factory by them. You order it like you order a brand new car. You order the colors. It's fully painted, fully assembled. The only thing that's not in the car is the engine and transmission, because that's how they can ship it into America without passing all the modern bumper laws and all that. And it is titled as a kit car, but it's not a kit. It's a replica. They sell it in fiberglass body or aluminum, like the original ones. They were aluminum hand-built bodies. You can still do that to this day. It's just different price points. In fact, Shelby, their continuation cars are still the same. The base car is fiberglass body, or they still do aluminum. Now, the difference between the Shelby continuation cars and these Superformance cars is the chassis. The original Shelby cars are a tube chassis, the continuation cars and the original. These are square tubes, whatever. So this car, you could have had different engine options. This car was ordered with a big block 460. So now that's a pretty cool car based on the 429. Look at this beauty right here. We'll do a full review and a road test on this car. So right now we're in the process of getting it so that the motor's in. So we just did a motor, and look at this drive shaft. Come around here. That's how long the drive shaft is. And by the way, to work on this car is interesting. You have to take the seats out, take the center console out, and the transmission, you carry it into the car and then set it in the tunnel. So that's why. So we had to have the transmission in. So then this car is going to need a complete detail. Now the thing about a Superformance car that's really cool is they're super authentic. They have a heater. None of the kit cars really have a heater unless you order it. They have windshield wipers. They have a factory wire harness with factory harness plugs. They have a fuse panel. They have an actual glove box. They have Smith gauges like they would have had from England. Notice the speedometer goes in reverse. That's also very authentic like the original cars. And with this car, the really cool thing is before Carroll Shelby died, we were able to have him sign the glove box doors. And then these cars also have all the windscreens and the top. So they're very authentic, very complete cars. Now I wanted to show you this before we get it all together so you can see. Also, this is a Tremec transmission. And one thing about Tremec transmissions, they're hard to power shift. They are really cool trannies. They're strong. Everyone loves them. They're kind of the top dog right now anyways. But if you're trying to power shift them, they're kind of notchy. And so we sent this transmission off to Liberty Gears. They cryogenically froze the gears. They changed some of the other shift rails, and whatever they do, they work their magic, and this thing is sweet. Now you might wonder, Will, why do you carry a lead hammer in your trunk? If you don't have a lead hammer in your trunk, you're doing it wrong.
Self-defense.
No, it's because these are true knockoffs. They're a true knockoff wheel, and they also have to have, your speed wire so the knockoff doesn't release while you're driving. So these are 17-inch wheels, Michelin Pilot Sport tires. Also, if you look between the Superformance car, this is the big block body style, so it's more flared in the back, and it looks a little different than the small block car. As you can tell here, Superformance did a great job. It's got true independent four-wheel suspension. It's got four-wheel disc brakes. This is the fuel pump and a filter. I believe this is a 8/8 center section. So yeah, this is all tube chassis or square tubes, and I believe the original was a 4-inch round tube. Obviously we have an aftermarket oil pan for handling purposes. It's got coilovers, adjustable coilovers. The steering rack is really original. It reminds me of an old British car steering rack. I'm not sure exactly where it's sourced from, but that would have been authentic when it was new. It's got a fully functional oil cooler. So all in all, pretty stinking cool car. It's got good sized sway bars front and rear. This car weighs less than 2,000 pounds. I think they were around 18 or 1900 pounds. This motor on the dyno was around 600 horsepower. So this car is a monster. I guess if you bought a continuation car, you know, they're more official, a true Shelby, but Superformance are really top. And their price point is slightly less than the continuation cars, and I'm telling you, they're an excellent car. I don't know what it's made for. It's made for scaring you and also getting a lot of attention at gas stations. That's kind of what it's made for. So, all right, we'll do some test drives maybe later on today, but it's not going to be official because, as you can tell, we still have a fair amount of cleaning and got to fully assemble the interior, and then the whole car needs a complete detail before it's ready to be delivered back to the customer. And we always, with something like this that we've completely disassembled, we'll drive it for 100 miles, put it back in the hoist, wipe everything down again, double check all the nuts and bolts, and then we deliver to the customer in our trailer. So get back to work.